so much for joining us, everyone. I have Amelia. She is fantastic, guys. I've seen her multiple times on LinkedIn, and we're very fortunate to have her. So today she's going to speak on personal branding. And Amelia, I'm sorry, I'll let you go ahead and take it from here.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me. Sorry if there's a lot of echo today. It's because we're in our brand new office in central London, and currently we have virtually no furniture in here, so there's a lot of echo in the office. So I apologize if there's any feedback. But yeah, I'm Amelia. Thank you so much for having me, and I run a personal branding agency. So that's hopefully what I'm here to talk about.
Fantastic. So personal branding, I think that's a topic that is so important, but it's maybe so overlooked. And keep me honest here. I think in my professional experience, I think the focus has been on like the technical aspect, like how good are you at PowerPoint, Excel, Word, you know how to do macros, VBA code, and all that's good, but I feel it only can get you so far, meaning how you market yourself, which is your personal branding. That's what really drives your career. But I'll let you talk more about it.
Yeah, I think so. First and foremost, I think personal branding gets a really bad reputation. Like, I think people think it's a ego-driven activity when actually it's a strategic marketing imperative, not just from a business strategy perspective, but from a career strategy perspective as well. A lot of people don't realize that an individual within a company, whether it be an employee or a founder of a business, has 10x the reach of a company brand online. So first and foremost, if you're the founder of your business and you're like, hey, I need more sales, I need to hire more people, I need more visibility to my brand. If you're not leveraging your founder brand, you are missing huge amounts of opportunities and you're leaving them on the table by not building your personal brand. I think also it's worth mentioning for anyone on this call who is a founder or perhaps managing a team or is in charge of sales in any capacity, messages that are shared by individuals within a business versus company social media are shared 24 times more frequently on social media that if an employee shares it than if the company socials share it. Leads that come through individuals social media versus company social media convert 7 times more frequently. And 92% of all people surveyed, which I think is a pretty accurate representation of most of us, will trust recommendations from a human being, even if they don't know them, over a brand recommendation. And so if you're not leveraging your personal brand, from a business perspective, you're leaving money on the table, but from a career perspective, you're losing visibility externally, which means, less job opportunities, less career progression, less salary, all that good stuff. But more importantly, you're leaving opportunities internally within your business on the table, because I think it's really easy when you work in particularly larger enterprise organizations to get kind of lost as a cog in the machine, right? You come in, you do your job that you're paid to do, you go home and you're like, hey, how come I didn't get a pay rise at the end of this year? How come I didn't get my promotion at the end of this year? Right. Building your personal brand gives visibility to your work, to people that actually really can make a difference to your career. So for example, if you're working in an organization where there's 2,000 employees, and of the 2,000 employees, who do you think is going to get who do you think is going to get the pay rise and the promotion? The person that just comes in and does their job, or the person that comes in and does their job and is bringing awareness to the company via sharing content online?
Amelia, I don't mean to interject, but I'm very passionate about this. I get this on a daily basis. So an employee will call and say, hey, Ivan, I think I'm, so I do this. I want to say they think they walk on water, but essentially they want a promotion. They think they're grandiose. They have this illusion, and yet this is the first time that they've even, how should I, marketed themselves or even, expressed an interest in what you just said. It really just like honed in on resonated with me.
Yeah, I think it's very easy for people to just think that it's okay, it's enough to just show up and do their job. And if you're in a small business, sometimes that is enough because there is visibility. But if you're a bigger business and you are, or rather working in a bigger business, you need to give a bit more visibility to the work that you're doing. Otherwise, you risk just being another number. So yeah, personal branding isn't just for founders. It's not just for people that want to be headhunted or whatever. It's also about bringing awareness to the work that you're currently doing for the business that you enjoy doing it for.
I so agree. Elevator pitch, that term, I love it because it's so true. You only have a certain amount of time, right? Whether it be with an executive or your immediate supervisor, it might just be that 30 seconds in the elevator. And if we're not taking that time to market our brand, we just lost that opportunity. Is that not right?
Yeah, I mean, and also like if we're going to take that analogy literally, like you might never get that time. But guess what? The CEO will see the fact that you're talking about his company online in a positive way, or talking about things that he agrees with, or someone in the business somewhere will say, "Hey, this guy Ivan's making all this noise about this particular subject, and we're actually getting referrals to the website as a result of it." You're going to get along the way some kind of recognition, whether it be through "Thanks for helping us out. We really love what you're doing." Someone's going to say something about it, and it's going to be a good thing. And if it's not a good thing, then I would kind of challenge you as to whether you're not in the right organization, because the companies that we work with are traditionally, so to give everyone context, we work with like startup founders, scale up VCs, all the rest of it. We also work with Fortune 150s too. So like these are big, clunky, 20,000 employee organizations, which are historically very scared of doing this type of thing, right? Because reputation, sure. We can't dare let our team, post content online. And actually what we're finding is the exact opposite. They really see a value in empowering the people that are already on payroll to bring visibility to the business. They know that these people will leave for, to go and do something if they're not happy, regardless of whether they have a visible brand online. So making the most out of those people while they're there has been a really incredible thing for a lot of these businesses, like Sky Bet, Cummins, which is a big US based company that we work with. So yeah, don't be afraid of, if there's anyone on here that's a manager or a leader, don't be afraid of empowering your team to have an opinion online, because the upside of it is significantly greater than any downside.
So along that same topic, the sense of I would call it fear of, presenting yourself, maybe saying the wrong thing. Do you think people should still take that challenge, or just put themselves out there, regardless of whether or not they might make a mistake, for fear that, I guess what I'm trying to say is it better to take the opportunity to market yourself as opposed to just stay in the corner in the shadows and just lose that opportunity?
Yeah, 100%. I think the thing is there's two sides to this. One, there is individual fear of visibility and a lack of confidence in your opinions, right? And I'm sure there'll be a ton of people that listening to this that can relate to, like, not even wanting to interrupt their friends at a dinner party to have their say because they feel like they're uncomfortable or they're an introvert or whatever. So that's relatable, right? And having that opinion online is significantly more heightened than just having it with your friends. Okay, so we can understand that. The other side of this is managers and leadership and founders and C-level thinking, hey, we can't let our team say anything online because God forbid they damage our brand. Like, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. If you trust someone enough to hire them, then why the fuck aren't you trusting them to post content online? Like, seriously. Like, I'd be much, much more scared if my team said the wrong thing to a client than if they said the wrong thing online. I've hired my team for my values. I know they're all decent human beings. If they say the wrong thing online, then that's on me, because I've not done a good job of hiring them. So I think understanding who you are as an organization, being super clear on what your values are and saying, hey, this is the framework we want you to operate within. Go be you, go be great, is the most empowering thing you can do for your workforce. Not just from a personal branding sense and an individual level, but also from an employee engagement perspective as well. It's huge. You would not believe how many companies we've worked with on this type of strategy, either be for generating revenue or for kind of attracting, better applications, employer branding type stuff. You would not believe the number of CEOs that have called me and said, hey, Amelia, I know we started doing it for this reason, but I can't believe the increase in employee engagement we've had as a result of me sharing content online, or as a result of me empowering the team to share content online, because that trust is built. So that's really, really important. To kind of flip back a little bit to what I said a minute ago about this fear of visibility piece.
Yep.
Okay, so you're worried about what people are going to think. Like, did you die? No. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think we all fall into this trap, and I'm included in this because I haven't always been this confident. You know, when you start posting, when you start having an opinion of any kind, whether it be to your scary father or, you know, your boss, or having it online, like there is an element of anxiety to it, right? But you have to kind of consider the illogicalness, if that's even a word, of that concept, right? You won't say how you feel because you are worried that someone that you're never going to meet doesn't like what you've said.
It's illogical,
So
right?
you're going to hold back your potential. You're going to hold
Mhm.
back your career. You're going to hold back your earning potential. You're going to hold back every single thing that you could possibly have achieved in your life because you're worried about Bob in Wisconsin's opinion about you.
Right. Which you'll probably never see it again, right?
Never. Never. So, and also 99% of the time, that doesn't even happen. 99% of the time, you will not have people saying, like, this is stupid. You might have people agreeing with you, but they'll come with a reason why, which is great because then you can have a conversation about it. But yeah, don't hold back your potential because of some stranger's opinion about you, because it's just the most illogical thing to do.
Lily, how long did it take you to develop this confidence?
God, a lifetime. I when I was like 15, I was so it's funny because when people have conversations with me like this, like I'm very confident, I'm very fluid, like I can speak to anyone, and I pride myself on that ability. But it wasn't always like that. I used to be very nervous around people I didn't know. I wouldn't even answer my house phone because I was so scared to speak to, you know, strangers when I was a kid. If I went to a restaurant with my dad, I'd make him order my food because I couldn't even look the waiter in the eye because I was just so like, oh my goodness, I can't, like the anxiety was like a lot, right? But the crazy thing about building my personal brand is that the more I exposed myself to this like potential backlash of my opinions, the more confident I was in sharing them. And so now I'm at a point, you know, 2.5 years deep of this journey, or nearly 3 years deep of this journey of, I don't really care whether you like what I have to say or not, because I have that opinion anyway. So, you know, your kind of response to what that opinion is actually insignificant to my self-worth. But what it can do is open a discussion about that thing that I have an opinion about. And I think that's really powerful. So I guess the confidence piece is twofold. One, it's expose yourself to know and you become more resilient to it. But the other side of that is you also expose yourself to know in a good way that help either reaffirms your opinion in the first place or opens yourself up to more opinions and more perspectives and more things that you otherwise wouldn't have known, which then also makes you more confident in making better decisions moving forward. So
That's fantastic. So if you had to sum it up, if you had to, I don't know, create a formula, would you say it would be confidence plus initiative plus maybe another factor?
yeah, we always say to people, like, before you start building your personal brand, be super clear on why you're doing it. Like, what is the reason? Do you want to be promoted? Do you want a new job? Do you want to generate sales? Do you want to get visibility internally? Do you want to have more brand awareness? Like, what's the goal, right? Like, where are we aiming? And the goal can move. You know, the goalposts move every now and again. Sometimes the whole point of my personal brand is to hire people. Other months it's for me to generate more business for my business. Like it ebbs and flows as my business ebbs and flows. The second thing that you need to think about is, what do you want to be known for? And what I mean by that is not, I want to be known as being honest or professional or an expert. No, specifically, what do you want to be known for? Are you in marketing? Right. Do you want to be known as a social media expert? If you're a CEO, do you want to be known as an expert in leadership and employee engagement, or do you want to be known as an expert in financial decision making and, you know, lessons learned along the way? What do you want to be known for? And a really good way of breaking this down is like, what I do for a job,
Yeah.
because you'll be able to talk about that comfortably. The second thing is like, what's your authentic reality? So for some people, it might be I'm a dad. For some people, it might be I'm an entrepreneur. For some people, it might be I am in the early stages of my career and I want to bring you on that journey with me. But whatever your reality is, these are things you're very confident in talking about. And the other thing is, what are you most passionate about? Is it employee engagement? Is it startups? Is it investing? Is it marketing? Is it, you know, Reddit? Like what are you most passionate about? And the reason why we ask people to do 2 to 3 things, generally 3, is because if you only focus on one subject, it's very easy to kind of like peter out and like lose interest. There's not enough to say. It gets boring. And also, if you're only talking about your job, you're not actually building a personal brand. You're just talking about your job, right? People need to get to know you specifically. So unless you're talking about the things you're passionate about and like what you're going through as a human being, whether that be as granular as, God, being a single mom is really tough, or it could be running a business is really tough. Like, they're two very different things, but they're both you getting to know me on a personal level. And I think people spend a lot of time in building their personal brand, focusing on the branding piece and not enough on the who am I and what value can I bring to the world and how can I share that, because that's what's going to make you recognizable. That's what's going to make you unique. It's not really like the branding stuff. Like, anyone can brand themselves. I could brand you and just make a personality up for you, right? But that's not really personal branding. It's not personal.
Can you make me into Bruce Wayne?
I can try my best.
No, well, honestly though, I had someone ask me, a good teacher, she goes to me, who are you? Just a random question. She said, come back to me in 24 hours. So I thought about it and I responded. But I think, to your point, a better question is not just who are you, but who you want to become. Is that right?
What do you aspirationally want people to think about you when they come across you? Whether it be, because I always say to people, like, your personal brand isn't just what you put online, right? This is me building my personal brand. My interaction with, I've got 2 of my team members in the office today. My interaction with them on a daily basis is my personal brand. How I greet the receptionist when I come into my office every day is how is part of my personal brand. The way that I speak to the train ticket operator is part of my personal brand. You have a personal brand whether you are trying to craft it or not. Like, people have a perception of who you are, whether you care to influence that perception or not. But a really big part of all of this to kind of shape and mold it, if you like, into what you want it to be is actually understanding, who am I, to your question, but also what do I want to be, like, what do I want people to know me for? You might be a junior right at the early stages of your career and think, who am I to be talking about marketing? Fair. But if you want to be known as someone who is associated with marketing, you have to talk about it, whether you're an expert in it or not. So what do you aspirationally want to be known for? And go for that.
The expression, fake it till you make it.
I wouldn't say fake it. I think actually the exact opposite. I think if you're at the beginning of your career and you say, hey, I'm no expert in this, but here is my lessons. Yeah, just be honest. Like, I often say to people, I'm like, hey, I've just hired my first senior leadership team member, and bloody hell, like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Like, I'm winging it day by day, just on a wing and a prayer and hoping this stuff works out. And I think people enjoy that honesty. It doesn't make me look stupid. It makes me look real. And that's the whole point of personal branding.
It's fantastic. I really, really enjoy this conversation with you. I would like to, well, one, I'm planning on actually visiting London sometime soon. I would like to come visit the studio.
Come visit us, yeah.
That would be great. Hopefully it'll be furnished by then.
Yeah. I'm going on a vacation next week, and I've got all the furniture arriving while I'm away. So my team are here to just get it all sorted. So hopefully when I come back from vacation, it will all be done.
That's great. And then 2, I think there's so much more that we can expand on. I'd like to do maybe a continuation sometime in the near future. Would you be open to that?
Yeah, sure.
Excellent. Well, again, I want to thank you. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I like these informal.
They're always better. There's no point in someone talking at you because you never absorb that information.
I so agree. So I would like to continue the same format. And again, this was a real treat, really, because again, I think we booked you out probably 2 months, maybe 3 months in advance, because I know you're like super booked.
Yeah, benefit of building a personal brand. It's like I never have time to do anything.
Case in point, I love it. No, this was fantastic. Thank you so much, and I look forward to having our second part 2.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Cheers.